Once upon a time, there was a beautiful young girl named Cinderella. She lived with her stepmother and two stepsisters, who treated her with cruelty and disdain. Cinderella was forced to work long hours each day, cooking and cleaning for her stepfamily. Despite her hardships, Cinderella remained kind and patient, dreaming of a better life. One day, the king announced that he would be holding a grand ball at the palace. All the women in the kingdom were invited to attend, in the hopes that his son, the prince, would find a bride. Cinderella's stepsisters were thrilled at the news and immediately began preparing for the big event, while Cinderella was left to clean the house. As the day of the ball arrived, Cinderella watched sadly as her stepsisters donned their beautiful dresses and left for the palace. Alone in her room, Cinderella cried, wishing she too could attend the ball. Suddenly, a beautiful fairy appeared before her. "Don't be sad, my dear," the fairy said. "I am here to help you go to the ball." With a wave of her wand, the fairy transformed Cinderella's rags into a beautiful gown, complete with glass slippers. "But I cannot go to the ball like this," Cinderella said. "My stepfamily will never let me." The fairy smiled. "Don't worry about that. You will be the most beautiful woman at the ball, and the prince will only have eyes for you." Cinderella arrived at the ball, feeling nervous but excited. She was immediately greeted by the prince, who was mesmerized by her beauty and grace. They danced the night away, and the prince fell deeply in love with Cinderella. As the clock struck midnight, Cinderella realized she had to leave the palace before her stepfamily discovered her absence. She ran out of the palace, leaving behind only her glass slipper. The next day, the prince went on a search for the owner of the glass slipper, trying it on the foot of every woman in the kingdom. When he arrived at Cinderella's home, her stepsisters tried to force their feet into the slipper, but it would not fit. Cinderella stepped forward, and the slipper fit her perfectly. The prince recognized the woman he had fallen in love with at the ball and asked Cinderella to be his wife. Cinderella and the prince were married in a grand ceremony.